Happy birthday, Sue. I remember when you weren't always called Susan Larry, though. That one Sunday afternoon where you and I and John Caulfield ended up in the ounce and a half after spending a weekend at the lake. I remember that you felt bad that you didn't have a nickname. Since you were hanging around with us in the ounce and a half, we decided from that point forward you would be called Sudsy Larry. So Sudsy, you've done well for yourselves. You're now reached 60, which is just a wonderful thing. I've enjoyed it thoroughly the last couple of years. One thing I'll say that's serious, that one of the qualities I share with you is that we're both the oldest of large families. They don't appreciate that not only do we hear it from the mother and the father when they're alive, we hear it from all the siblings that are younger than us for the rest of our lives. So being the oldest isn't necessarily being the best. You are one of the best, and therefore it's an honor for me to be your friend. God bless you. Many more. Wait till our 70th birthday. See you.
I guess I'm supposed to share a memory or something. I guess I just wanted to tell you that looking back now to the last time I was a senior and my family abandoned me, and I was living with you on Coolidge, that was probably the best way to get ready for college. Yeah, the way we'd go all week without seeing each other because you'd be gone before I woke up and you'd be asleep by the time I got home. And kind of two strangers living in the same house is exactly the same way that it works out in college. But when everything slowed down on the weekends and we finally get to talk, I really miss those days. And I can't really ever, I don't remember everything that we talked about, but I remember talking with you on Sunday mornings. If it was Lord of the Rings weekend on TBS, we'd be talking about Lord of the Rings. I remember talking about Garrison Keillor because that was a special on the one weekend. And I don't know if you remember my TED Talk session the summer I was working at Consumers, but I think you sat through a couple of rants about some great ideas that I had just heard in a TED Talk. And so I just wanted to say, I guess thanks for always listening to me. And instead of shooing me off and saying, oh, that's nice, you always had questions that made me think harder. And I guess happy birthday, and I'll see you sometime this summer, and thanks for everything, Aunt Du.
I'm Isabel.
Aunt Du's just the best.
I'm Aunt Du's favorite niece. She's really nice, she's really funny, she's smart, she helps me with my homework. She lives next door. This is just one of them, but a couple of years ago, in 2006, we were on a cruise vacation. It was me and Meredith, my parents, Uncle Jordan, Trish, Al, Molly, Emily, and Madonna, and Aunt Du. And we were driving, and we were in Mexico, and we were driving in like a taxi cab, and we were sharing it, or like a taxi van, and we were sharing it, and this guy is all of a sudden saying like, oh, where's my wallet, like blah blah blah, and the Spanish driver didn't speak English, and Meredith yells like no dinero, which means no money in Spanish. So the cab comes to a complete halt, and it turns out that Aunt Du was sitting next to the guy, and she was sitting on his wallet. And my dad was joking around saying, oh, she's a magician, she tends to steal things, like blah blah blah. And the guy believed it, and he got out of the cab, and they didn't share the cab with us anymore.
Aunt Du is going straight to heaven. She's the mother of 3 boys. And I call them Huey, Louie, and Dewey. But other people call them what they will, but Aunt Du's always been there for her boys. But I particularly remember the day I did not lose the bottle opener. But several people accused me of stealing the bottle opener, and we looked everywhere. And long story short, it was a magnetic bottle opener that ended up sticking to a pan and went into the oven on Thanksgiving and almost burned the house down.
I've known Susie Leary since she was a sophomore in high school and I was a senior. We used to do a Time and Mercy government exchange, and Susie was involved in Mercy and I was involved in Time, and we had good times at Siena with Eddie and Susie and Quinny and Mary Beth and Nancy and myself. We've been friends for 40 plus years. Susie, it's wonderful to be your friend, and congratulations and many more years.
Sorry I missed your party last week, but I'm so glad I'll get to be seeing you on Easter. But just wanted to thank you for being there for all of our adventures throughout our childhood, everywhere from Westminster Abbey to being on that boat in Ireland when it was just pouring down in those big overalls, from the mix-up in DC where my mom and I went to DC and someone else didn't, from antiquing in Maryland, and from our moves to England to back to Baltimore and back, all over the place. I just thank you for keeping my parents sane in all of those processes, and you are just the very best, and I wish you all the best.
Oh God, I got a great one. When we were little guys, and we went to school at St. Tommy's, Grandma used to make us wear our boots starting in November, and we had to wear them all the way till April 1st. No matter if it rained, it didn't matter if it rained, if it was sunny, if there was snow, or it was dry outside, we had to wear our boots. So we would leave the house with our boots, the old black boots, you know, they used to buckle in that, and Aunt Susie and Big Sister Sue and I, we would go a couple doors down, all right, we're out of sight of Grandma, and we'd take our boots off and we'd leave them in the backyard at our neighbor's, at our friend's house, and then we'd go to school, and then when we came home for lunch, we'd put them back on and walk back at the door, and then when we leave for lunch, we would take them back off and go back to school. So that was one of the fun memories I remember, you know, back when we were little guys back at St. Tommy's. But Grandma was pretty tough on us, you know, with that stuff. But and Susie was always the, you know, being the oldest, so she was always the one that got, you know, she was the trailblazer for all of us and a lot of things. And but that story sticks out. We always giggled and laughed about that as we went to school without our boots on.
Here's some money. Andrew, you've been like a second mother to us.
Probably when we were in Washington.
Well, we have one. What'd you do?
What happened? Only one person had a cell phone, and it got lost. And then Aunt Betsy had the car, so we were all stranded on the side of the road, and you bought us all popcorn. It was me, you, Seamus, my mom, maybe Neil and Andrew.
Well, there's a
I
good.
can't remember, but we hung out on the side of the road for 3 hours, and that was actually really fun.
Was Lizzie
I
there?
wasn't there,
No,
but
I
I
wasn't
do
there.
remember one when we went to Annapolis to visit Uncle Jay's house, and we went to Pier 1. I was with you and Tommy, because we were trying to get glasses for Uncle Jay, and I just remember looking at I just remember that Pier 1 trip, for some reason, I don't know why, but it was really fun, so.
Well, there you go. Well, happy birthday, Aunt Du.
Bye.
From the
Happy
cameraman.
birthday.
Love ya.
Bye.
Mwah.